Most men believe that strength in relationships means doing more. More gifts, more compliments, more chasing. They think devotion earns them loyalty. But here's the truth. A man who overextends himself often ends up feeling invisible, because in the eyes of others, especially women, a man who gives without grounding slowly becomes a man who disappears. Real presence doesn't beg. It doesn't negotiate for love. It simply is. So this isn't about becoming cold. It's about becoming clear. If you've ever found yourself wondering where you stand, if you've ever felt like you were giving everything and still losing connection, watch closely. These are 5 Stoic principles that will help you take back your emotional power, without games, without noise, and without losing yourself in the process. Rule 1. Stillness is strength. Don't rush to fix what time can reveal. In the heart of every man lies the instinct to do, to fix, to act. Society has trained us to believe that masculinity is measured by motion. If something's wrong, fix. Now, if she's distant, close the gap. If there's silence, fill it. But this knee-jerk reaction is often the very thing that fractures us, because true strength isn't noise, it's stillness. Stillness says, I don't need to chase. Clarity. I trust that it will come. It's the ability to sit in discomfort without needing immediate resolution. And in that calm, power is born. Imagine this. You're with a woman you deeply care about. One day her tone changes. Her replies get shorter. The warmth you knew cools. Most men, they hit the panic button. They call, text, apologize, even for things they didn't do. But not out of love, out of fear. Fear of losing her, fear of not being in control, fear of being alone. And so they try to fix what hasn't even been broken, yet. But the Stoics, men like Marcus Aurelius, knew better. He once said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of in other words, the chaos is inside you, not in her silence. The man who doesn't fold in the face of emotional distance, that's a different breed. He doesn't chase approval because he's anchored in something deeper, his own identity. He understands that stillness isn't passive, it's presence. He can feel the tension, the uncertainty, and still remain grounded. He's not proving a point, he's being the point. His silence doesn't scream insecurity, it speaks volumes of inner strength. And whether she comes back or walks away, he doesn't lose himself. Because he never gave himself away in the first place. In a world where everyone is addicted to the dopamine of reaction, the man who remains still becomes rare. And what is rare becomes valuable. This is the kind of man that draws respect. Not through force, but through gravity, through calm, through unshakable presence. That kind of stillness doesn't chase anything. It attracts everything. Rule 2. If you don't define the frame, you'll live inside someone else's. Every relationship, romantic, social, professional, has a story quietly playing in the background. It's not spoken, not posted, not clarified, but it's always there. This story is called the frame. It's the silent agreement about who's leading, what matters, and how value is exchanged. If you don't take the time to define that story, someone else will write it for you. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up living a life that feels foreign, because it was never yours to begin with. Picture a man who constantly bends to avoid conflict, who laughs at jokes he doesn't find funny, who says yes when everything inside him screams no. He thinks he's being agreeable, but what he's actually doing is erasing himself piece by piece. He's stepped into a frame someone else built, and now he's suffocating in it. That isn't humility. That's self-abandonment disguised as politeness. There's no glory in being a ghost in your own story. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, spoke endlessly about living in alignment with your nature, not with public opinion, not with pressure, and certainly not with the need to be liked. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it, Marcus wrote. A man who lives by this lives by principle, not popularity. He sets the tone in a room without raising his voice. He holds frame not with dominance, but with grounded presence. He doesn't need to be loud, he needs to be clear. You see, the moment you start chasing approval, you give up authorship of your own story. You become a character in someone else's book. But when you walk in alignment with who you are, unapologetically, something shifts. Women feel it, men respect it. The world adjusts to you, and the irony? You stop trying to control outcomes, yet everything starts flowing your way. Why? Because you're no longer reacting, you're leading, you're holding the frame. And that, brother, is power. Rule 3. Win her respect, or you'll never win her loyalty. A woman might enjoy your affection. She may smile at your efforts, lean into your compliments, and appreciate the attention. But understand this, affection isn't allegiance. Romance isn't reverence. You can shower her with everything you think she wants, but if she doesn't respect the man giving it, none of it will last. Because loyalty doesn't live in the realm of feelings. It's born in the presence of something. Deeper principle. Respect is the foundation of loyalty, and respect isn't gifted. It's earned. It's earned in the way you hold your ground when it would be easier to fold. It's found in your restraint, when chaos invites reaction. It's visible in how you carry yourself when life punches you in the gut, and you refuse to crumble. That's when she's watching most closely. Not during your high moments, but when you're tested. In discomfort, in frustration, in uncertainty. If you break character to please her, or chase her approval at the cost of your own soul, she may thank you, but she will not follow you. Think back to a time when you bent your boundaries just to keep a woman's interest. Maybe you agreed with something you didn't believe in. Maybe you apologized for a truth that didn't need regret. In that moment, she might have smiled, but inside, something shifted. Not because you were unkind, but because you weren't anchored. Women have a deep instinct. They can feel when a man is grounded versus when he's performing. And once they sense you need them more than you need your own self-respect, the balance tips. What you thought would make her stay begins to make her drift. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Stand up straight, not straightened." That's the essence of masculine respect. It's not posturing, it's not bravado. It's a quiet internal structure. A man who can say no without anger, who can walk away without drama, who can love without losing himself. That man carries a different weight. Not loud, but undeniable. He doesn't dominate with volume, but with presence. So ask yourself, honestly, can I say no without guilt? Can I walk away from attention that feels misaligned, even if it flatters me? Can I stay calm when I'm being tested, without punishing or proving? If you can, you're already walking the rare road. Most men spend their lives chasing love when they should be commanding respect. Women don't crave a perfect man. They crave a present man, a man who is sovereign in his values. Because that kind of man, he doesn't ask for loyalty. He inspires. She may love your heart, but she'll follow your strength. Rule 4. See beyond words. Understand the emotional language. In the chaos of modern communication, most men fall for the illusion of clarity. They think words are the full story. But the truth? Words are often the mask, not the message. A Stoic man, one who stands firm in the storm, knows this. He understands that behind every "I'm fine" could be a battlefield of unspoken pain. Behind every "do what you want" might be a test of presence, not permission. Most arguments in relationships aren't born from the said. They erupt from the unseen, from feelings ignored, from silence misread. Think about it. Ever been in a conversation where everything sounded fine, but something just felt off? That tightness in her tone, that pause that lasted a beat too long, that half smile that never touched her eyes. She said it was okay, but your gut said otherwise. This is where most men fail. They respond to the words, not the reality. They react instead of reading the room, and they wonder why they're always stepping on emotional landmines. But the man who's grounded, he doesn't get caught up in the noise. He listens for the signal underneath it all. He doesn't just hear, he feels. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change." It's the truth I'm after. This applies not only to reason, but to emotion. A Stoic doesn't stubbornly cling to surface-level truths. He seeks the deeper reality, and in relationships, the truth is often buried beneath hurt, fear, and unsaid needs. Understanding her doesn't mean fixing her. It doesn't mean becoming her emotional sponge. It means standing solid while she unravels. Being the man who can hold space without losing himself in the storm. That kind of man is rare. And when a woman feels truly seen, not judged, not analyzed, but seen, she never forgets it. Because he didn't just solve her problems, he understood her soul. Rule 5. Stop performing. Start embodying. There's a quiet war going on inside modern men, and most don't even realize they've been drafted. From early on, we're taught to perform, to put on a face, to become something we think the world wants to see. We're told to perform masculinity, chisel the jawline, puff the chest, flex the bank account. We're told to perform confidence, crack the jokes, dominate the room, suppress the nerves, and even love becomes performance. Grand gestures, overgiving, proving you're the one. But here's the truth. Real power is never performance. It's presence. It doesn't need applause to feel secure. It doesn't need validation to know its value. A man who embodies rather than performs lives from the inside out. He doesn't posture, he possesses. He doesn't chase status. He commands respect by the way he moves through the world. There's no need to show off when you know who you are. Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations reminds us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That's it. Stop proving, start becoming. Because the man who's grounded in his principles will always outlast the man who's addicted to applause. Let me tell you a story. I knew a guy who was always on. Perfect smile, perfect charm. He dated women like it was a competition, not a connection. He played the role of alpha, but deep down he was exhausted. He was chasing affirmation he never gave himself. The moment someone pulled away, he panicked, started chasing, over-explaining, trying to win them back. But a man who's centered doesn't chase what retreats. He lets it go with dignity. Because his worth isn't a debate, it's a truth. Embodying means you stop arguing for your value. You don't need to shout it, you live it. You protect your peace like it's sacred. You walk away from confusion, not because you're cold, but because your clarity costs too much to cheapen. You stop investing in people who treat your presence like a maybe. You stop handing out explanations to those committed to misunderstanding you. When a man truly embodies his power, he becomes immovable. Not hard-hearted, but deeply rooted. He doesn't need love to feel whole, because he is whole. And in that wholeness, love can find him, not as a crutch, but as a choice. That's the difference between craving love and deserving it. One is survival, the other is sovereignty. And a sovereign man doesn't perform for a crown. He wears it by being it. Conclusion. So remember, stillness over reaction, framing over forcing, respect over romance, presence over performance, and clarity over chaos. In a world where men are told to do more, be more, prove more, be the one who masters less. Because the man who doesn't need to chase becomes the one everyone starts to follow. Stay grounded, stay sharp, and never trade your peace for approval.